Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I am Marlou and today I'm going to be doing something very different and very exciting. I am going to make my own personal mini-me as a Coraline doll. And I've seen this all over YouTube last year. But this video is especially for all of you that have seen that video but not yet done it. Even if you have done it, you're cool. And if you don't want to do it, that's fine too. But I'm going to do a bit of a tutorial because they're like probably not trending this year anymore and you don't want to look them up and you just want to see a cute pink-haired Caroline doll, right? I know I do. So I'm starting off with some wire that you can just get at the craft store and you can just shape it however you want it. It's really easy. So you make some circles for the head, and then for the body you just twist it around, and then for the legs you just do two little thingies, and you can make them as sturdy as you want. I did not have any trouble with the head being too heavy, so she said straight up, so that's great. And I did the same thing with the arms, and I used this little, oh, what is it called? Little thingy to cut them off. Jesus, is this going to be one of those videos where I don't know words for things? Probably. So what you're going to do is just wrap it around a bit and just keep doing that until you're satisfied, and then we're moving on to the head. So I'm using this mirror foil. I'm so sorry I don't know the correct terms. That's really stupid. And you're just gonna make a bowl shape out of it and put that over the head. I would recommend making it round because I thought, it doesn't matter that the back is flat because I'm just going to add hair, but it still looks flat in the end, so I would recommend you do not do that. So I know a bunch of people are already so into the fall mood, so I'm just digging into that with this video. I'm personally still in that summer vibe and I can't wait to go to see the sun again. And the sun is still here for a few days, so I'm kind of still in the summer mood, but I'm definitely going to watch the Coraline movie when fall hits. I do feel bad for making this when I've not seen the movie. Feels kind of like I am just doing it for the aesthetic, which I am, but I will watch the movie. Hopefully I'll like it. If not, it's fine too. It was fun to make this, and yes, I'm going to keep an eye on it so that no one is going to steal it and do some voodoo on me. But let's be real, I'm not that special. No one's gonna want to do voodoo on me anyways, so it's not something I'm worried about. And I worry a lot, so don't you know, it's fine. So the hardest part of this process for me was the tin foil. That's what it's called. Put that around the head because it didn't stick that well, and I just was like, well, this is not going to look good. So that was the hardest part for me, or the least fun part, I guess. My favorite part was making the dress, so maybe I should start sewing more, because I think for a lot of people the clothes are the most tedious because it's kind of hard if you're not experienced. So I should take that as I should start to make more things with my sewing machine, because if that's my favorite part, then I just really loved how the dress turned out. You're going to see that in a hot minute. So yeah, now you can see me struggling with the tin foil, and it will turn out okay. I promise. So if you're thinking about doing this, I just want to convince you a bit. The supplies are very cheap, like tin foil you probably have around the house, and the wire is really inexpensive. You need some yarn for the hair, which is really cheap, and some clay. I already had clay. Some paint, some fabric for the clothes. That's it, basically. Oh, and buttons. That was the hardest part, getting buttons in the right size, but I just got them today. Well, not today. You see this video, but today I am recording this voiceover. Please excuse me if I sound a little bit like I'm out of it, but I need to edit 3 hours of footage, and no. I was so excited to film this video because it was like, this is going to be fun. It's going to be creative and different, something I've not done before. And now I see how many footage I have to go through, and it does not make me happy. But it's okay because I love entertaining you guys. So if I am entertaining you, please leave a like and a comment and subscribe to my channel for more creative content. So as you can see, I'm like shaping the face. I had a really hard time with making her face like rounder, but I really wanted that because she has that and I do. Like, I have some cheeks, so I wanted to make cheeks, but it was really hard. Yeah, maybe I'm just not doing it right, probably, I don't know. And yeah, after this I'm going to start using the clay, which I love doing so much. Like, I am not very perfectionistic. Perfection, that's not a word. So, you know, the face is not perfect, but I just really liked how you could just, you know, start doing that. It was very therapeutic and just relaxing. So please don't beat yourself up. Like, every video I've seen of people making these dolls are always like, oh my god, this looks weird. That, you know, it doesn't look weird, but, you know, we're also not like making realistic sculptures, so, you know, we shouldn't have to feel the pressure to make natural lips or eyebrows. Like, the eyebrows are going to be a little bit asymmetrical. Do I care? No, I don't. So what I'm doing is I use air dry clay. Yeah, I just like using that. Like, what's the other clay called? Polymer. I don't never know how to pronounce these things. But that is really sticky and hard. So I would recommend using air dry clay. So we're moving on to the body, and what I'm going to do is trace the body on a piece of paper. You can make the body in different ways, but I'm just going to make the body out of fabric. I just think that's the easiest thing for me. So a little tip for you guys: if you draw the body, don't draw out the boobs, because it doesn't work if you're going to sew it. So you just need to make it a little bit wider on both sides, and then you can do that. So I didn't do that, so I end up having well, I'll show you in the end what I did, but it was kind of funny. But now that I know how wide the body is going to be, I can design the dress. So what I did is, as well as the body, I drew out the shape 2 times. Again, I made boobs, don't do that. And I'm tracing it on a piece of fabric, and I just do it with the fine liner, but it is possible that it's going to show, so just keep that in mind. So you need to make a front and back that match, of course, and you just draw it on the wrong side of the fabric, and then you're gonna go ahead and cut it out. So how you do this, I did it a little bit differently because I was really scared that the body was not going to fit through the tiny like neck hole, because I wanted the dress to be very covering for the neck because it looks weird. I didn't want the like wire to show. So how you sew this is you put the right sides together. Please make sure you do this and make sure it's aligned, and then you sew it, except for the places where it needs to be open, so the armholes, the neck hole, and like the what's it called, where your knees are. Wow, that's not what I wanted to say. So yeah, this fabric looks really cute, and yeah, I just wanna sew that together. But what I did, I only sewed one side, and then the other side I sewed on as the body was on the doll, if this makes sense. Because I was just scared that the body wouldn't fit through and I would have to throw away the dress that I worked very hard on, so I did not want that. I also added some lace trim to all the edges, and I think that is my favorite part about the dress. It's just so cute, and I just sewed that on by hand. And then I also made a little scrunchie. So how you make that is you make a like a tube. So you cut out a rectangle. It's gonna be very tall, it doesn't need to be very thick. And then you're going to fold it in half, good side to good side. You're going to sew the edges together. Then you're going to turn it inside out and pull elastic through it. And you're just going to see how big you want it to be. And then you just put the elastic through it and you are going to close it off. And then you have a scrunchie in a mini size and it's adorable. I love it so much. So here I'm moving on to the painting part. And yes, I painted off camera. I'm just very bad at it. Sometimes I just, when working on the doll, and I totally forgot that I was filming a video. So yeah, my only regrets for the painting job is I did it at night. So the skin color looks fine, but she ends up being very pale. And it's not that I mind that, but because of that, the body is a different color as well. She's just way paler than me. But you know, just I guess paint in daylight is the tip for that situation. But I just had fun with it. It was just really fun to paint on something that is like 3D. Yeah, I liked it. So this is how the face turned out. I think it looks very cute with the rosy cheeks and just, I don't know, the shape of the eyebrows does remind me of my own. So I guess I did a pretty good job. And now we're moving on to the hair, and I just really like this part. It just made me so happy that I could do pink hair. Just it's so fun. So for this part I was very happy that I had watched a tutorial because yeah, the hair part is kind of difficult. I don't know why. So what I did is I cut a lot of pieces of yarn in the same size. I wish I had done bigger strands so that I could just cut it off, but I thought this was big enough, so I just made them twice as long as I wanted them, and then I could fold them in half, and then you would have 2 strands of hair instead of 1. So that is the way I did it. I'm so sorry, I just washed my hair and then I wrap it in this towel that, well, it's a t-shirt. It's a white t-shirt actually, but my pink hair dyed it, so it looks like a tie-dye t-shirt. Well, it is now, I guess. So I'm sorry that that's in the frame. But yeah, I just used some tacky glue and I glued it like 2 strands by 2 strands, and I made this, oh, I never know, what do you call that? I'm sorry, I don't know. Just that you have that line in the middle of your hair. So I just repeated this process and I only did 1 layer because I didn't think it was going to look good if I put it on top of each other. So I end up with a flat head, like I talked about before. So how I solved that is to do a hairstyle. So I do wear my hair sometimes in like a little ponytail on my head, and the rest of my hair is down. Mostly I do it like in a bun, but that was too hard for me. So we're not doing that. And I wanted to use that scrunchie, so this way I could use the scrunchie to hide the place where I glued down that chunk of hair. And I just think that it was a good solution, you know. I have never done this before. How do I know how to do this? I don't. So as you can see, the hair is a little bit short for me to, you know, be able to cut it a lot, but it's fine. I do think it looks cute, and I bought way too much yarn. Like a little bowl of yarn will do the trick. You don't need as much as I got unless you want to do it a different way. But this is the only way I know how, so that's how I did that, and it does stick on well if you just let it dry. And I just think this was where the doll kind of came together. Adding the hair made her look prettier, so yeah. Hi, so I just wanted to talk a bit about the doll now that it's almost done. I'm going to cut off her hand because it's, can you see it? Yeah. But I think once the eyes are on, it's completed. So I didn't stuff her body with anything,
because I didn't have stuffing, and while I was making it, I didn't really think of it anymore. What I did do in the end was add, I want to show you because I don't know what it's called. Like this thing, but smaller, and I added it under the dress, so it does go a little bit, because without it she would be flat. And I didn't want that. Excuse me, I got a call. So yeah, so I got that thing for the boobs, and then the sleeves all have a little trim, which I love. Like this dress I would totally wear. I mean, I would make it more revealing, but glad we didn't do that because it's way easier. That's my big tip. If you want to do this, make big clothing so you don't see the skin, because the skin looks weird unless you make beautiful skin, then it doesn't. So I needed a solution for the legs because the legs looked wanky AF. So I didn't know what to do with them. Like I felt lost, but then I decided to just make long socks because it does go with the thing, you know. They're a little bit too long, but it's cool. So I didn't show how I made the socks, but I could explain it to you. It's pretty easy. So what you do, you get a piece of paper. I mean, you don't get a piece of paper. I'm going to get a piece of paper to demonstrate how you make this. So what you want to do is get your fabric and design the socks. So you just have to look how tall you want them to be. So this is what you're going to do. You need to put them like this because you need to put the same on the same, if that makes sense. Then you cut them out and then you put the right side together and you sew around and knot. You don't sew on the top. Once you've sewn all around it, I just did this by hand because I don't like doing small things in the sewing machine. And then you turn them inside out. You could use a pencil for that or just your nails, and then you have a sock. It's really easy, and I think it totally saved the overall look because I really didn't like the legs, and now they just look, they're still very skinny, but at least they don't look weird. So that's pretty cute if you ask me, and because it's like you can do whatever you want with these legs. You don't really need to make feet because you can just make the legs bend at the end and that's your feet. So these are my arms. They turn out better than the legs. They're still a little bit like, you know, but you can see like I made a thumb, you know. I sewed this around the body as well so you can see the thread. I didn't use skin color thread, don't know why. And then the hair was a fun part for me because I just like hair. I think another big tip, don't be like me, make the head, when you sculpt the head, make it round on the back, because I didn't do that because I was like, oh, hair's gonna cover it, but you're gonna glue on the hair so the hair, you know, stays on there and it's flat. She has a flat head. By the way, how well does this match? Okay, so what I did is I added a little piece of hair hang on top of it. This is a hairstyle I frequently wear, so I thought this would match, and I also wanted to make a scrunchie, and this is just adorable. I'm going to take it out because I wanted to show you that it's just so cute. So I didn't glue this down because I wanted to be able to remove it. So this is a scrunchie. This is my favorite part, honestly. Like, it's the same fabric as the dress, and how you make this is really easy. Take a piece of fabric and draw out a tube. Make it really long, but it doesn't have to be wide, but you need to make it really long, and then you need an elastic. You're going to cut this out, fold it in half, the good sides facing in. You're gonna sew the edge, and then you're going to take a piece of elastic. You're gonna put that through it after you turn it inside out. Does that make sense? I really should have filmed that. And then you just pull the thread. You sew these sides together, And then you have a little scrunchie and it's adorable. There are tutorials of this online, I know, so you can look it up, but it's really easy if you have elastic laying around, and it's just the cutest little feature. So this is what the hair looks like without that. Not too bad, kind of a bit weird, like the way I made this is just the way I saw it in another video, but I don't really like the way that looks. So this scrunchie is just a big yeah. This scrunchie is just a big distraction from all that is not perfect in my opinion. And I love it. So yeah, all we need is to find buttons for the eyes, and hopefully I can just hit up some grandma on Facebook to ask for it. And she's adorable. It's a mini me. Do we look alike? Well, she's very pale. Like her hand and her face. Like I'm even more this skin color. I could have made her tanner, but I did this in the dark, and in the dark she looked tanner. But yeah, she white, I'm white, it's fine. So yeah, hopefully you'll now see me putting on the eyes and the finished product.
So I guess I'm now finishing this project. It took me a while, it was a lot of steps, but it was also a lot of fun. I got the eyes from Facebook Marketplace. And now I'm going to show you the end result. So I'm super happy with how it turned out. If you like this video, please leave a like, comment and subscribe. If you want to see more of me, you can also follow me on Instagram. It's Mae Journals. You can check out my shop, Mae Journals Shop. And if you want to support me and my business, you can also check out my Patreon. It's Mae Journals. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'd love to see you next time. Bye!